This is a time critical video. Hey guys, it's Derek and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm just going to talk to you quickly about my experience of having a teenager who is studying for the HSC. Now the HSC, also known as the High School Certificate, is the culmination of Year 11 and Year 12 in high school here in New South Wales, Australia. Depending on where you live, it's not going to be called the HSC, but pretty much it's the same thing. It's just a big set of final exams which determines whether you can get into uni, if that's what you choose to do next year. It is super stressful, and before anyone says any different, yes, I know it's been a minute since I did mine, considering the fact that I've been a doctor for 26 years. Yes, we didn't have this thing called an atar. Yes, we didn't have the internet where people can research and get access to so much online help and tutoring and past papers and stuff like that. But yes, it was still super stressful. Stressful because we didn't know what to expect. We didn't know if we were going to get enough marks to get into the course that hopefully we, and not our parents, chose for us at uni. And perhaps the most stress, which is the one that is the most easily preventable, but it's so prevalent, is the fact that we were stressed that we were going to disappoint our parents by not getting enough marks to get into that course. First of all, let me say that no matter what mark you get, if you don't get the marks you need to theoretically get into the course you want at the university that you choose, there are definitely other ways of getting around it. You can go to a different uni which potentially has lower requirements. You can choose a different subject and then transfer over. You can do an apprenticeship, you can do an internship. There's loads of different ways of getting in. And ultimately, you've just got to remember too, that people who thought they knew what they were doing, they thought they knew which course they wanted to do, a lot of them decide that after a week, a month, a year, 2 years at uni, it is not what they wanted to do, and then they can make the change then. So it is not the end of the world. I've done a lot of job interviews and I've interviewed a lot of doctors for positions where I work, and not once has the subject of what they got in the HSC ever come up in conversation. In fact, when I look at the CV, I bypass all the academic stuff. I don't care what they got in the HSC. I don't care what university they went into. I don't care if they came first and got the medal or the prize or whatever. It's of no relevance to me. And any good employer knows that the most important asset that a potential employee can bring to the business is the ability to play nicely with the boys and girls that are already there. Because no matter how studious they are, no matter how high their academic achievements, if they have a personality that does not suit the workplace, they become a toxic component of your business. It's actually going to kill off your whole business. And I'm not here to show you any magic solutions of how you can get through your HSC easily. I'm not here to show you any special study techniques, because by now, look, guys, it's 2 weeks before your trials. You should have figured out how to study by now. And this is not the time to change your routines and change your patterns, because it's something that you're used to and no one else should tell you how to do it. But all I can say is it is important to take a break, to refresh, because you want to be at the point where you're at the best, where you're at your most focused, where you have the highest amount of energy on the day of each of the examinations. By burning yourself out now, by falling into a heap because you've just spent the last 16 straight hours studying a book and you just barely can keep your eyes open and you've got headaches, that's not going to help. So if you're tired, if you're super stressed, go take a break. Go for a walk, play with your puppy, go play on your Nintendo Switch for a bit. Do something just to keep your mind off everything, just so that you can come back refreshed and actually able to perform at your peak, because you can't study when you're distracted, you can't study when you're exhausted. And whilst it doesn't feel like it now, there is definitely, I promise you, a light at the end of the tunnel. When you get to the other side, and I'm on the other side, but my kids are on this side, you will realize that the HSC is the least of your problems. It doesn't determine how the rest of your life goes. You get to determine how the rest of your life goes. You get to be this person who writes the script for the rest of your life, and not the university course that you either did or did not get into. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't try. You should definitely 100% try your very hardest, and you should definitely try and create an environment that allows you to perform at your best. Like with what I said before, you've got to study smart, you've got to take the right breaks. You just got to get into the mental mindset that it's okay, and I'm just going to do my best and we're going to see what happens, rather than put so much pressure on you that you're just going to fold like a cheap chair on the day of the exam. You don't want to do that. You just want to create a peaceful, serene environment that you can learn stuff and that you can regurgitate it on the day of the exam. This is an exam, and I know that it sounds bad for me to use the word regurgitate, but You're basically spewing out the information that you've learned over the last years. No one thinks that this is the ultimate way of teaching. Like, unless you work for NASA, nobody cares how many rings there are on Saturn. But even if you do work for NASA, it's something that you can look up. I have never once in my adult life ever had to know, without the ability to look it up, the atomic number of some element on the periodic table. I never once had to memorize the chemical structure of a compound because I could look it up. And this is just a means to an end. This is just for you to learn stuff, to get through the exam. And you just got to create an environment that allows you to focus and retain information. And that's all the HSC is. That's all any exam is. And whatever happens in your HSC, life goes on beyond that. You'll still be happy. You can still get the job that you want. You can still have the career that you want. You can still have the happiness that you want, no matter what happens during the HSC. Let me just repeat that for the girls and boys up the back. No matter how you go in the HSC, life will always be there afterwards. You can still achieve everything that you've ever wanted to achieve, even if you completely flunk out of your final Year 12 examination. So don't get hung up on all the details. Stop looking around to see what your friends are doing, and stop getting into that whole, or what did you get for question 3? I don't know if I got it wrong. And just remember, your family are there to support you. They'll understand that this is a very stressful time for you and that you can get very emotional. There's no more important time than right now to focus on yourself. Stop looking around. Stop seeing what your friends or other people in your school are doing. Stop allowing other people to psych you out by them saying that they know more than you. Single-minded, focus, concentrate on self. You do you. No matter what happens, you know that you've done your best, and that's all you can do. I know it's easy to say, but that is all you can do. That's all anyone can and should expect of you. So good luck. You take it easy. Hit me in the comments below. Not yet, but after you've completed your exam. So let me know what your experience was, and let me know if you would have done anything different. So thank you for watching. This was quick. This was super important, and I'll catch you next time in another video. Bye.